Have you ever opened your social media app, scrolled through endless posts of people smiling, traveling, achieving, and for some reason felt a little distant? You're there, but you don't feel like joining in. Maybe you've even stopped posting altogether, not because you hate it, but because it just doesn't feel like you anymore. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many people today quietly fade from the digital noise, not out of bitterness, but out of clarity. In the beginning, social media felt like a doorway to the world. It connected friends, shared laughter, and captured memories. But over time, that doorway started feeling more like a mirror, reflecting not who we are, but who we think we should be. Every like became a small approval, every comment a moment of validation. Slowly, what was once joy started turning into pressure. We began to share less for connection and more for confirmation. The world became a stage, and our profiles became performances. And then something changed. Some people simply stepped away. They didn't announce it, didn't make a post saying they were leaving. They just stopped. Stopped uploading pictures, stopped chasing notifications, stopped explaining themselves. To some, it looked like they disappeared. But to them, it felt like returning home. People who avoid social media often share one subtle yet powerful trait: self-awareness. They can see when the constant sharing starts shaping who they are. They feel the exhaustion of pretending to be okay, or always having to prove that their lives are exciting. They realize how quietly comparison steals joy. When you scroll through hundreds of perfect moments from other people, it's easy to start believing your own life is missing something. But those who step back begin to see that the highlights aren't the whole story. Behind every smiling post, there are unseen struggles, quiet doubts, and unspoken pain. Psychologically, this choice to avoid social media often comes from emotional maturity. It's a kind of calm that grows when you stop needing others to confirm your worth. These people find validation in private victories, in real laughter, in quiet evenings. They find happiness in being, not in being seen. Their minds become grounded because they no longer depend on digital applause. For them, silence isn't emptiness, it's peace. There's also a scientific side to this. Every time we get a like or notification, our brain releases dopamine, a chemical linked to pleasure and reward. Over time, it creates a loop. We post, we get validation, we feel good, and then we crave it again. People who avoid social media have, consciously or unconsciously, broken that loop. At first, it feels uncomfortable. Their fingers twitch to check the phone, their mind wonders what others are doing. But after a while, calmness returns. The noise fades. Focus grows. They begin to experience life again, the way it used to be before every moment had to be captured. The warmth of sunlight through the window, the smell of coffee, the sound of rain, all of it feels more real when it's not being recorded. In psychological terms, this is self-containment, when your emotions, satisfaction, and joy come from within, not from how others react to you. But not everyone who avoids social media does so for peace. Some do it for protection. They've learned that the online world can be harsh. One opinion can bring judgment. One picture can invite criticism. One sentence can be misunderstood. So they choose to protect their peace through silence. It's not fear, it's wisdom. They know not every thought needs to be shared. Not every joy needs to be public. Not every pain needs an audience. Others do it as an act of quiet rebellion. When everyone is running toward visibility, they move toward invisibility. They don't need to prove their happiness through pictures. They don't need followers to feel seen. They don't need engagement to feel enough. They live slowly, intentionally, deeply. They write in notebooks, not captions. They connect with people in person, not through comment sections. They find beauty in being unrecorded. There's research suggesting that people who take long breaks from social media often sleep better, feel less anxious, and experience stronger real-world connections. It's because their minds aren't trapped in comparison. They don't measure their value in numbers or engagement. They rediscover what it means to be present. They listen better, think deeper, and laugh without wondering if anyone saw it. Still, avoiding social media isn't about superiority. It's about balance. Some people love sharing and find genuine joy in it. That's beautiful too. The real question is, are you sharing because it feels right, or because you feel you have to? Are you posting to connect, or to prove? Once you ask that honestly, you start to see your relationship with social media for what it really is. The psychology behind those who avoid social media is rooted in intention. They live with a slower rhythm. They don't seek attention. They seek alignment. They don't chase trends. They chase truth. They aren't avoiding the world. They're simply choosing which parts of it they let in. They are not invisible. They are just selective about when and how they appear. Maybe you've met people like this. They're calm. They look at you when you speak. They don't check their phones every few minutes. They don't rush to photograph moments. They live them. They remind us that there's a difference between being seen and being understood. They teach us that not every moment needs proof to exist. And maybe in some quiet part of you, you are like them too. You still scroll, still see what's happening, but you no longer feel the pull to participate. You've realized that peace doesn't need performance. That joy doesn't need an audience. That your life can still be meaningful, even if it's not visible. So if you ever feel guilty for being silent online, remember this. Silence doesn't mean absence. Sometimes it means presence. The kind of presence that algorithms can't track, that followers can't count, and that cameras can't capture. It's the kind of presence that makes life fuller, deeper, and real. When everyone's shouting to be heard, silence becomes its own kind of voice. When everyone's chasing attention, stillness becomes freedom. Maybe that's why those who avoid social media aren't missing out. Maybe they've found something we've all been searching for. If this story spoke to you, take a moment right now. Put your phone aside for a few seconds. Look around. Feel the quiet. Let the world exist for you, not for your feed. And when you come back, if you felt something real here, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Murphy Mind, a space where silence isn't emptiness, it's understanding.